The terrible disasters that occurred during the First and Second World Wars were caused by the use of primitive aircraft and tanks, and some rifles and pistols. The most powerful weapons that appeared at that time were two small nuclear bombs. They fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But in light of the current tension the world is witnessing, I wonder what would happen if World War III broke out, especially with the superpowers possessing advanced weapons. I wonder whether these countries can use the deadly weapons they have or not. Many people believe that the only lethal weapons used in wars are nuclear weapons, but the truth is not like that at all. Some countries currently have a type of bomb called a vacuum bomb. This bomb uses oxygen in the atmosphere to explode and generates very high thermal energy. I mean, the fuel for the bomb is air. This means that it can generate long-lasting explosions that never end. The modern army now also has multi-headed electronic shells. It can target more than one target with high accuracy, even if the distance between these targets is more than 1,000 kilometers. This includes, of course, intercontinental ballistic missiles and thousands of biological weapons. You also have hydrogen bombs that can melt rocks. Even if all this is not enough, humans have developed artificial intelligence in the field of combat and war. There are many weapons today that are more destructive than the nuclear bombs launched in World War II in light of all this ww3. I wonder what would happen if a new world war broke out. When Albert Einstein was asked about this topic, he said, "I don't know what weapons will be used in World War III, but what I do know is that World War IV will be with sticks and stones." This sentence, although simple, contains the answer within it. Einstein's response means that if a third world war were to break out using weapons of mass destruction, it would mark the end of human civilization. Genocide in every way, so much so that technology will fade and disappear, and we will return once again to the eras of war with swords, sticks, and violence. This is why most strategic experts say that in the event of a third world war, the first decision the major powers will take is to completely exclude the idea of using lethal weapons. This is simply because we exist on the same planet. Therefore, if a new world war breaks out, it usually takes other paths. It will depend largely on economic wars, political blocs, and other weapons such as planes, tanks, and missiles. This, in turn, will lead to several things. The first thing is that there will be an immediate danger to any country that lacks natural resources and relies on imports, such as importing food, oil, raw materials, and other supplies. Because if there was a war around this country, it would have prevented shipments of food and goods from leaving or entering it. Therefore, these countries will not have a chance to survive for a long time. The second thing is that it is surprising that even countries that contain large natural resources such as oil, natural gas, and other energy sources, it will not be safe because it will be the most vulnerable country if it does not have a strong army. This is simply because we exist on the same planet. If such and such country possesses lethal weapons, nuclear warheads, hydrogen bombs, sound bombs, etc., then the other country possesses the same weapons and perhaps more. Therefore, no party will dare to use these prohibited weapons, even if they keep threatening to do it all the time, because they know that other countries will not calm down, but will use the same weapons. The truth is that the reason America dared to drop nuclear bombs on Japan in World War II is because no one had nuclear bombs at that time except them. But if Japan had possessed nuclear weapons at that time, America would have thought 1,000 times before doing so. In short, this is because it will remain threatened by invasion by major powers, because they will try to seize the resources in it and use them to enhance their weapons and equipment. The final path people can take in the event of World War III is for parties not involved in the conflict to enter the war zone. This means that if there is a country called X, it is fighting with a country called DL. You will find that the country called K entered into supporting one of the two countries. This does not cause any harm to her. This is simply because one of the two states is interconnected with each other and is obligated to be protected by the same state, or to have common interest with her. This will allow the department to expand significantly to include most countries in the world. This, in turn, will increase the duration and intensity of the war. In the end, we hope, God willing, that the current and coming era will be full of peace and stability. But that's it, we're done.